The first thing the little girl did after being reborn was to buy a set of firefighting equipment to be ready to leave her family and escape alone at any time. She knew that in a few minutes, her adoptive sister would collude with the nanny to set the house on fire. By then, the whole family would either be killed or injured. After the incident, her family would also believe the adoptive sister's words and think that the girl was the disaster star who brought the calamity. In the end, they would drive her to death alive. It was only because the girl had grown up in an orphanage that her family would always choose to believe the adoptive daughter, right or wrong. So after being reborn, the girl decided to no longer care about her family and only wanted to save her own life. However, what surprised her was that this time, after her parents saw her buy the firefighting equipment, they directly told their subordinates to buy 1,000 fire extinguishers. Then the whole family would also accompany the girl to conduct fire drills. No matter where the girl went, they would follow her, but instead ignored the adoptive sister they had always favored. Little did she know that the girl had accidentally gained an ability after being reborn this time, the ability to let the whole family hear her inner thoughts. At first, the family thought the girl's inner thoughts were just whims. After all, she had once said that the nanny and the cook were the adoptive daughter's biological parents. It was they who had swapped the girl and the adoptive daughter back then. She even said that the second brother's girlfriend was having an affair. As it turned out, all these things were eventually confirmed after the nanny and the cook found out that their plan had been exposed. They had already fled in advance with the adoptive daughter, but they were unwilling to let their years of plotting be ruined. So they decided to set fire to the girl's house. Fortunately, the family also realized that the girl had the ability to predict. In order to survive the fire, they made a series of preventive measures according to the girl's inner thoughts. Sure enough, not long after, a big fire suddenly broke out in the house. The fully prepared family escaped smoothly. Seeing this scene, the girl couldn't help but feel strange, thinking that her family was much smarter this time than in her previous life. But escaping the fire was not enough. The family would go bankrupt soon, because the nanny's purpose of setting the fire was to take the opportunity to steal the family's core technology. The whole family was instantly dumbfounded. They immediately rushed home to retrieve the core technology, only to find that the core technology stored in the USB drive was indeed gone. The whole family collapsed in despair. However, the next second, they heard good news from the girl's inner thoughts and learned that she had secretly swapped the technology. Only then did the family heave a sigh of relief. However, seeing this, the girl found it very strange and did not understand why they were not anxious at all. Upon hearing her thoughts, the family finally pretended to be very anxious and said they would call the police to find the lost technology. But they only quietly checked the girl's school bag, confirmed that the core technology was always in her bag, and did not make any more noise about it. Soon came the day scheduled for the technology's release. The nanny and the adoptive sister arrived at the scene with the boss of a rival company, but did not dare to approach from a distance. This made the girl feel very strange. After all, according to her experience in the previous life, they should have come before her family to frame her by now. Little did she know that her thoughts had already helped her family see their true colors. But just as the family announced the launch of the new technology, the boss of the rival company stood up as he had in the previous life, claiming that the girl's family had plagiarized their company's technology. Upon hearing this, all the guests started talking among themselves, but the girl's entire family remained calm. Seeing this, the nanny and the adoptive sister thought they did not know the technology had been stolen. They immediately handed the stolen USB drive to the rival company's boss and displayed it publicly.